This will all make sense when I am older. La 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 la. Sorry.
Is that your intro?
No. Welcome to the Creative Differences podcast. I am Gaby.
I'm Dallas.
And I'm that one sock you thought you lost in the wash.
Are you going to do this every time?
Yes.
I love you so much.
I've been looking for you.
All of my life. Okay. Today we are talking about Frozen 2 and Knives Out.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't see either of those, so
Whack.
And the rest,
sorry.
and I
Things to
saw
do.
both of them.
Did you?
And
Did
Demi
you?
also
Did
saw
you?
both
Because
of
when
them.
I came home, you were watching Kim Possible. Was that more important than seeing
Kim
Frozen 2 for the
Possible.
content?
yes.
It was not. You could watch that literally whenever.
Hold on. You didn't even watch Kim Possible growing up, so you don't tell me how important Kim Possible is, mister. I didn't watch the Disney
How
show.
important is Kim
Wait, you didn't
Possible
watch the Disney
right
Channel?
now when you could have watched Frozen 2 for the content to then be in this review and give your thoughts?
Kim Possible is always important. Moving on. Gabby,
Possible could have been important
start
later.
us off.
Sir. Okay. Colin and I watched Frozen 2 on Thursday, and then I watched it last night with my goddaughter.
And then I watched it again last night too.
Yes, high five. It was so good. I liked it so much. What did you think, Colin?
I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I liked it more than the second one for sure.
The first one? Yeah.
I'm sorry, the first one.
Me
God.
too. I liked
Yes,
it more
thank
than
you.
the first.
Like, yeah, I have problems with it, but overall, like, it was a fun time. There's a lot about it that I think is just an improvement over the first one. Like, yeah, it's fun.
For instance, focusing on Elsa.
Yeah,
And
I
seeing
mean,
what
we'll
Elsa's
get there,
real
but like,
personality.
yes, that was important. Gabby, what did you think about it?
I thought it was really good. I liked that the scope was a lot larger than the first movie.
Okay.
I liked...
See, it wasn't, which is interesting. It was in the sense that we got away from Arendelle, but then we were in a forest for the entire time.
But the forest is like vast, and there's
good point,
different
good point,
pieces
good point,
to
good point,
it.
good
So
point.
I feel like it did feel larger. I felt like it was a great opportunity for Disney to show off like where their animation has gone, the technology, and I was very impressed in some places.
Oh, yeah.
What else? The music was really good. I don't think the music was as good as the first one with the but I really
See, I
like.
disagree with you there, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, but I really well in terms of catchy, because I do like these songs a lot more.
Okay.
But I find that they're not stuck in my head the way that the songs in the
Okay,
first movie
I can see
were.
what you're saying. Yeah.
So that's in my head. I guess that to me makes the other songs better. But I do like these songs more. There's a little bit more depth to them.
Okay.
It was just really good. I liked it way more than the first one.
Okay.
So yeah.
Tell us, what do you think of the Oh Wait?
It's
To
probably
me.
I've been called. I like this one more than I liked the first one. It tapped into mythology a lot more, which is something that I'm interested in. This movie felt more mythological and legendary in like the way that it was presenting a story. I loved the music because they let Idina Menzel sing 2 songs by herself this time, and it was
Well,
fantastic.
Not entirely.
Okay,
herself,
not
but
entirely
yes.
by herself, but mostly by herself.
Yeah.
And they were both great.
They were both like
'Cause
they
she's
both
amazing.
slap.
Yeah,
To quote
something
Colin.
about like Idina Menzel already just has a great voice.
She does.
She has the Broadway background where she can emote while she's singing,
Yeah.
and she does it really well. But like even more so than Jonathan Groff, who has like the same background. Something about Idina Menzel,
Well,
man.
I feel like Jonathan Groff has like a really like buttery smooth voice, whereas
But it's not
Idina's
about
is like
it's not about the vocal quality. Something Idina Menzel
Well-
has something that I can't explain. It's some sort of X factor that when she sings a song, like I'm like, wow, we went deep. Like when she sings "Show Yourself," oh
that
my gosh,
song made me cry.
like I thought that "Into the Unknown" was going to be my favorite song because I love the concept of the song. It is the perfect refusal of the call song into I'm finally accepting what my destiny is going to be. I'm going to run it straight into this journey, and it applies to almost every hero ever written in fiction.
Yeah.
But "Show Yourself," I was like, oh
I was
my
like,
God.
oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh, I'm crying.
Also, I'm really glad that they let Evan Rachel Wood sing in this movie. I wasn't aware that she was going to be singing. And
Yeah,
I'm really
I didn't
glad
know
that-
she was
I was
even in this.
hopeful that they would, and I didn't know that she was
such a
going to
good
be
singer.
singing. But yeah, I really liked this movie. It was great. It was fantastic. Also, anytime they were animating any sort of glowing light, anything
Yo.
was beautiful. That's the other thing about Elsa's songs too. Their animation sequences.
Oh man,
Are I could watch
We're
those-
gonna have to talk about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I could watch those 2 numbers on repeat
Same.
because of
Yeah.
the animation
Yeah,
alone.
absolutely.
Oh God. the freaking beautiful ass horse.
Gaby, I think you're a horse girl.
I think I am, and it's probably my Mexicanness in me, because like my dad used to, because his family was very, very poor, they would go out and get wild horses and tame them for the local rich people and then sell the horses to them. This was just him and his nephew would do this as a fun side job thing. So my dad's like, I kind of know how to ride horses, but mostly I know how to ride like the scary wild beasts, and I know how to tame them for the, the rich people. And I'm like, oh, it just might just be like a Mexican thing.
Yeah.
We might just really like horses. But yeah, I'm a horse girl, I guess. Elsa is, I really like her for a couple reasons. One, she's the hero of the story, but she's not like Anna, where she's like super outgoing and like, let's do this. She's kind of shy, and she does run into things head first, but ultimately when she comes out of it, she's very quiet, which I think is very interesting for a heroine. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, she was much more interesting in this movie than the first one, because the first one, she's afraid of herself the entire time, and that's fine. I like that in this movie she wasn't. So she got to express who she was a lot more.
Mm-hmm. I also just want to say that the continuation of Elsa's hair evolution is my favorite thing. One of my favorite things about these movies.
The hair evolution, excuse you, the dress evolution.
Yes!
Also, yes, Elsa's I'm like, it's the same. I feel the same way about Elsa's fashion choices as I do about Daenerys Targaryen on Game of Thrones, where I'm just like, who's making your clothes? These are fantastic.
She apparently is making her own clothes, and it's fantastic. Or magic. I don't know. But whoever it is a great stylist.
Elsa's making good choices, people.
Oh my God.
Good choices. But also, yes, I do love that her hair is representative of the journey that she takes throughout these movies.
Yes, I agree. Also, I love how in this movie, nobody is letting Anna forget about what a bad decision Hans was. And I appreciate all of them for it. Like, literally all of them. They are the most, like, that's the most accurate representation of a family when you have a shitty ex-boyfriend. And I love it. Like, it's amazing.
Do you guys have feelings about the other characters, or?
Oh, I have feelings.
Oh, we do. Kristoff was delightful.
I have problems.
Really? Tell me.
Kristoff did not need to be in this movie, and that sucks because I love him and he needed more to do. But like this entire movie, he gets a song that's great, yada yada, but then he gets no story because the girls go off and do stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you can go off with these other people. We're not going to see you do anything with them. You're just going to go do it." And it's
he literally gets left
Wow.
behind.
Okay. Also, I just had a problem with. I don't want to get into it because it's technically a spoiler, but his and Anna's dynamic in this movie I did not like.
Oh. What?
They kind of did a certain bit multiple times that just wasn't funny to me.
Oh,
it was just annoying.
I thought it was funny.
Mm.
I feel like that bit was also more for like the children than it was for us, just because it may have just been an easy joke to make. So I watched this with you in a relatively quiet theater, and then I watched it at El Capitan with a full theater, and it was 90% children. Well, not 90%, but like
mostly children.
It was mostly children, and all the bits where I was like, that's fine, it's not really funny, they were laughing hysterically. Like anything Olaf, the children were like eating it up. So I was like, this part is probably not for me. And that's one of the parts where like the kids were like just thought it was super funny. They were like waiting for Kristoff to mess up. Every time he did, it was just hysterical. So I'm like, that joke was probably not for us. It was probably more for the kids. And like I started to see like, it was really interesting to watch it because I already had my opinions about scenes, which was helpful. And then getting to see what the kids thought of it was like interesting because I'm like, okay, so now I know what's for me and what's for not. And actually Kristoff's song. So I like was like, this is my favorite part. And she was like watching it intently, and then she leans over to me and she's like, I don't understand why you like this. And I was like, oh, this isn't for you. This is for the grown-ups. Like this whole song is just for the grown-ups. So it's like, you're not supposed to get it. This is for me. And she was like, okay. So yeah.
I saw it with my 10-year-old brother. He enjoyed it. So if you guys want the children reviews, the 10-year-old boy liked it. He really liked it. So
and
there you go.
The 9-year-old girl liked it.
There you go. The kids love it.
Yeah. No, they did.
Colin.
Yes.
Tell me about Sterling K. Brown.
He is in this movie. He says a few things. He does a few things. He helps out.
Yeah.
All right.
There's not really.
He doesn't do much, but like
really not really.
What he does is important to the plot. Like he matters. He's there.
But I found it really interesting that they really took that Frozen is a very white movie to heart, because all of a sudden there were background characters who were suddenly of color.
Which is funny because it's basically a retcon, but like that's fine.
It's a retcon.
Well, watching the first movie, you really don't see any people of color in the background. Now all of a sudden, Arundel's people of color.
Okay,
like, did they move in? Did Elsa be like, "Hey, I'm queen now, so we need to get some
all the people
some color
of color
in this kingdom."
welcome. Yeah.
Elsa took note.
Yeah. Olaf told her it's beautiful, but it's so white. And she was like, "You gotta fix that."
Yep.
That's why we stand Queen Elsa.
I don't know if it goes that far, but anyway.
Yeah.
I do. She's one of the best.
I like her.
I love her.
This movie is pretty. It's so pretty. Like
The horse, man. I'm not over the horse.
Okay.
I'm never
I get
gonna
it.
be over
I
the
respect
horse.
that. What was really standing out to me was like, I think it's in Into the Unknown. She does this thing where it's like, you see shapes that kind of look like they're made of like fireworks.
Ooh.
They're like outlines, and it's incredible.
Oh, when she goes into that like really dark space and she's
And
just
she's doing like
yes.
a light show.
That
It felt like
scene was
watching a Disney
amazing.
parade, which was probably intentional.
That was one of the things that I thought of during because it happens a little bit in Show Yourself.
Yeah.
So during both Into the Unknown and Show Yourself, I had this feeling of like watching Phantasmic when you go
Yeah,
to
I
Disneyland.
felt like that's what they were trying to
Because
do.
it went with the music too, and it's like
Yeah.
and crescendo and big lights and crescendo, big lights, and I was just like, this is great. I feel like I'm at Disneyland. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. It was just like a really great movie. I like it so much more. I can't believe I like it. Well, I wasn't super into Frozen, and this movie has changed my mind a little bit about this little world.
I don't know that it makes me like the first one more.
Oh,
But
it doesn't make me like the
If they
first
told me
one
they were going to make a Frozen 3, I'd be like, cool. I'm going to go
Exactly.
see it. I'm
That-
absolutely signing up for it.
That's how I feel at this
Yeah.
point. I'm like, okay, I'm okay with this.
Also, like, I like the music in this one more. The first movie, it felt like a lot of the songs were meant to be like pop songs that you could play on the radio that you could listen to over and over. This movie, it felt like they're meant more to be musical songs.
Yeah.
So they fit better with the movie, I feel like. And yeah, you're not going to hear them on the radio, but I think they work better for me overall.
I think so too. I think that may also be so. I was telling Demi this, but Into the Unknown has like a pop version.
Right. I
But
do not like that
it.
version.
I'm
Thank
the
you.
only person in this room who likes that version. I love that version.
Yeah, I just and I think the reason is because this is a musical song, so I didn't understand the context one of it, two,
I picked up like immediately. I was like, I know exactly where the song's going to be in the movie.
in the context of the movie and with like the musical type arrangement, the song was like amazing to me. But like the pop arrangement where there's no context and it's just kind of like a belty kind of song, I was like, this is a good song. I'm not into it. And I was thinking going into the movie, I was like, I guess I'm not going to be into that song when Elsa sings it. But then I saw it in the movie and I was like, this is amazing. Oh my God. And then also, what's the name of the other one? Show Yourself. Freaking Show Yourself was beautiful. It was amazing.
I feel like my favorite aspect of this movie was just the forest in general and the things in it. Like the spirits and the earth giants and all of that is just, I love that stuff. I want more of that. I wanted more of the magic than what we got, but what we got, I loved.
Dallas, are you going to see this movie now?
Probably
because of
not.
How we think about it and things.
I already decided I was probably going to see it.
Cool.
So, when
Yeah.
I'm done watching Kim Possible,
I might
I'll
go
probably
with you to
check
see it
out.
again, honestly. Like, it's fun.
It's a really good movie. I'm down.
Why not? I have no idea when I'm going to do that.
Cool. And then moving on.
To me.
Yes.
And
what?
Gaby.
Hi.
Yes.
Talk to us about Knives Out.
Okay, so we went to an early screening of Knives Out, and that's why we have opinions.
We have opinions. No,
Okay.
we're not nothing.
That's their opinion.
And we can't say too much about the plot because it would give things away, and that would be a huge
There's
bummer.
really not a lot we can say about this movie.
Yeah, I was wondering, how do you talk about a movie
That's
where
good.
the whole point is that you're supposed to figure it out as you're watching? Like,
what I can say is that Knives Out, the way that the movie functions, like the way that the story functions and
Yeah.
the way that it goes through its plot, I wasn't anticipating.
Yeah.
When you say that you're doing a whodunit film, there is a certain like idea of how you feel like this movie's gonna go along.
Yes.
And
It kind of flips it on
yeah,
its end
Knives
a
Out,
little bit.
Knives Out kind of doesn't bother with some of the things that you anticipate.
Yeah, or like it flips them. I feel like it still did them. It still followed some familiar beats, but in my opinion, it flipped some of those tropes on the
Well,
end.
no,
so
yeah,
it
because-
messed with you a little bit.
Well, Rian Johnson's really good at subversion.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. I can't say because then I spoil it. but it's the way that we discover information
That's what I'm saying.
that's very different.
Yes.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought the cast is great.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them do a lot less than I anticipated.
Yes.
Ana de Armas does a lot more
yeah.
than I anticipated.
I didn't
And
expect that, which I liked.
The only movie that I have seen Ana de Armas in is Blade Runner 2049. And in that moment, I was like, she's a star. I've talked about it before on I think the Batman fan cast. I talked about how much I thought she kind of steals that movie away.
Yeah, she was the standout of that movie.
Yeah, she's the standout. And then to see this movie, this is the first movie I've seen her in since then.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle of the movie, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, Ana de Armas is continuing to prove that she's a movie star.
she's a star.
She's great.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see so much of her and so little of the other characters, but I think it really what?
Gabby,
Huh?
I have an important question.
It's about Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how was that experience?
Oh, it was interesting.
Sweater. The sweater.
She also cannot talk too much about.
I can't.
She can't talk about it.
I can't say too much about Chris Evans because it would give so much away. So all I'm gonna say is I got out of the movie what I wanted.
His performance was great,
and his performance was great.
Everybody's performance in this movie is great.
Yeah.
And then the writing and the directing is also great.
Yeah, dude.
Rian Johnson is one of my favorite director-writers ever since I saw Looper and Brick.
Yeah, dude. And like freaking The Last Jedi, man.
I love The Last Jedi.
Me too.
So, Rian, wow.
Yeah, when I was just moving away a little bit really quickly, tangent. When I first saw Last Jedi, I was like, I don't know if I like this. And then I've seen it like 4 times this week because I have a problem.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's because my boyfriend and I kept starting it.
No,
and
that's
then
impressive.
We kept falling asleep, and so like I was like, no, we're gonna finish this, and he was like, okay. So yeah, I've watched it all. Also, because we're looking for Reylo.
How long is that movie?
It's like 2.5 hours.
Goodness
It's not 2.5 hours.
No, it's not.
No, it's like maybe 2 hours and 15.
Okay,
maybe, at most.
right around. It's like 2 hours ish, but that's not the point. The point is that my housemate also are watching it because she's building up her PowerPoint presentation because she's going to show it to my boyfriend. But that's not the point. The point is I've realized that I do really like
The Last
that movie.
Jedi is 2.5 hours. That goes to show how fast that movie flies when I'm watching.
Right,
it.
or like because when you already know it. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I really like that movie now. I realized, and I really liked Knives Out. It was really good. I like that. I was like, where is this movie gonna go? Was my question the whole time, which is really rare for me. Because we consume so much.
That's why I like Rian Johnson's movies, because most of the time his movies feel like, where is this going? And
so
I usually can't tell you.
Yeah, no. And that's what I really like about this movie is like I was like, what?
I also really like, Rian Johnson always works with Steve Yedlin as his cinematographer, and Steve Yedlin is becoming one of my favorite cinematographers because of The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi looks so completely different from Knives Out. I love that Ryan and Steve can change up the visual style of their films depending on whatever they're making. I admire filmmakers who can adapt to whatever their genre is.
Yeah, to their medium.
Yeah.
Genre.
Yeah, their medium's not changing. The genre is,
the
though.
genre is.
But yeah, Knives Out is fantastic.
Yeah.
You guys should definitely check it out. Daniel Craig, I don't watch a lot of Daniel Craig movies, but his southern accent and his character is fantastic.
It's very good. Also, I felt like, is he good at his job? Is he bad at his job? And then I'm like, wait, that's the point of these type of detectives. Sometimes you're like, are they even good at solving things, or are they just getting lucky? So that's what I liked too about it. I was like, do we even need this dude here? And then, it like you said, it's very subversive. It turns things on their heads.
Also, this movie has a lot to say about our current society, and I was not expecting all that, and I loved it.
Yeah, I wasn't either. But I like it. Was some of the times it was just so straight up hilarious.
It's also a very funny movie.
Oh yeah,
so
it's very funny.
I would highly recommend seeing Knives Out. It's an experience.
Chris Evans in that freaking
stop
sweater.
It. And for all of you guys who are complaining about the fact that there are no original movies out there, well, here you go. Here's a great one.
Yeah, this one's really good. Highly recommend it.
Moving on to our new section.
Yes.
Not new anymore.
No.
I don't know. The name is new. Maybe it's not. What did I call it last time?
I don't know.
Me either. What's good in the hood? Colin.
Holy.
No, Colin, you're not going to go first.
Miley, what's good?
Oh,
That's an
that's
old
good.
reference.
That was a weird time.
She should have. Never mind. Continue.
Gabby, do you have a thing for this section? Doesn't look like it.
You've watched The Last Jedi 4 times. How was that?
I have. It was amazing, Reylo. Until I die.
I'm just saying 4 times in a week feels like it's worth
I didn't
talking
mean
about.
to. It's just like I said, my house. Okay, I'm just gonna talk about this because I'm such a freaking dork.
Go for
Okay,
it.
so sorry to put my housemate on blast. So a few months ago, my housemate was talking about how much she ships Kylo Ren and Rey.
Trash.
Shut up to me.
Do you mean this is Gabby's section?
This is my moment to shine. And I was like, ew, no, I hate that. And I don't like Kylo. And also I don't see the romance that you're talking about. And so she was like, excuse me, madam, I will prove you wrong. And I was like, I would like to see you try. And so she constructed like a 30-page PowerPoint presentation. Or 30 point.
30 slides, yeah.
Yeah, 30 slides. But they weren't like, super
no.
detailed slides. They were
Got it.
like quick point slides.
Right.
And then there was like, but she also pulled up movie clips.
Right.
She pulled up quotes that the directors and etc. have written.
Oh, so she got like extra text.
She got like
everything.
text information. She like, I was like, oh no. And then she also compared it to like a little bit to
Pride and Prejudice.
stuff like that, like old English, because it's not like a typical modern romance where you can just see it very clearly. It is like a lovers from far away kind of a deal. And so by the end of it, I was like, I hate you, but you have way too much evidence here. I don't like this. And she was like, is the main problem that you don't like it because Kylo sucks? And I was like, yes. And so we have since had a lot of conversations about the kind of character he is.
I just want to say, someone from the outside looking in, because Jimmy is passionate about Star Wars, and Colin just hates Kylo Ren. I don't care about any of that. So I
You
just
want
want
to
to
see
say,
the power?
oh God, no. But I respect the effort that is going into this process,
Right.
because you guys are doing legitimate homework. This is the funniest thing I've heard today.
No.
I've seen a lot of
No, Demi, I see
But
you
that's
moving.
not the point. The point is like that's why we're watching like The Last Jedi. We're looking for scenes. We're like reading the novelizations because the novelizations have to be approved by J.J. Abrams and they have to be approved by Rian Johnson, who was heavily involved in the novelization for The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
So like and books have to be a little bit more clear and like with their characters. It's not just like a inference from an image, right? They have to write on screen, and like there is flirting in the books between Kylo and Rey.
I just want to say.
Yeah.
I just want to say.
Yes.
Getting heavy fanfic vibes. And I was going to say, Colin, what would you call a mix between 50 Shades of Grey and Star Wars? 50 Shades of Rey.
No.
Notice that 50 Shades of Grey also has a lot of abuse in it. So
Hold on, Demi.
Sure.
No
Sure.
time for that. That is the best title I've ever heard. Oh my god, that's so good.
Let's
Anyway.
get right in.
That's so good.
We're huge fucking nerds.
Ooh.
And
I need a minute.
my housemate might listen to this and be like, "What are you doing? Why didn't you tell people about
She's a scholar. She might as well get credit for it.
Right? No, it was like it changed my mind. Like I did not like Kylo Ren before this, and now I'm like, damn it, am I seeing?
She
things
basically
from
wrote
his
you a
perspective?
dissertation. Like
She did, and she had like a pointer. We put the PowerPoint on our TV screen. She served me wine and cheese. Like it was like it was an experience.
I kind of want to have this experience.
Right? I'm telling you, it's great. Like, even if you disagree, like, just sitting through it and having her explain. And ultimately, the reason why we're bolstering this is because I was watching The Last Jedi with my boyfriend, and he was like, this man is a psychopath. And I was like, and I looked at him, and I was like, oh, no. And I texted my housemate, and I was like, you won't believe what Eric is saying. And she was like, oh, no. And then this is why I was late to meet you. We had like a 2.5, like almost 2-hour conversation arguing with my boyfriend about because also like my housemate and I know these movies well and we know these characters well, and my boyfriend is a Star Trek person, so like we were citing like our sources, and we were saying in this scene, in that scene, in this scene, and we're like, why do you think? And he's like, well, because he said this, and I'm like, he said that in one scene at the end of the movie. Like, what are you talking about? And so like now he is watching all of Star Wars so that he can bolster his point.
Hi, Gaby.
And we are bolstering the power. Well, my housemate is bolstering the PowerPoint so that we can have like another argument.
I'm gonna stop you there.
I don't mean to.
Okay.
Colin?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just had an idea. Go ahead.
Say your idea. Go ahead.
So what needs to happen?
Yes.
Your boyfriend needs to come up with his own PowerPoint, and then you
Yes.
present them at the same time, and we play Duel of the Fates, and it works.
Yes.
Dallas, go ahead.
I was gonna say, when we get closer to Star Wars, I'm sure there's gonna be an opportunity for you to go deeper into this experience that you're having.
There is. It's like my favorite thing that's
Oh my
happened
God.
all week.
Oh my god.
I like it though, because now when he comes back with an argument, it's going to be a stronger argument, and we're going to
Such
be
a
able to have
nerd.
like, we're such huge nerds.
Okay.
You
You spent a long time talking.
in
I'm so yeah.
sum-
You can like get rid of all of this if you
Oh
want
God, no.
to me.
This is the best part of the podcast.
Look out for our Rise of Skywalker review whenever that one comes out. To me, is going to flip a table. So,
She is. I
her
think you
computer's on the
guys.
table.
I would love it if she showed. If you would be willing to sit through the PowerPoint.
Oh, I wanna see
because
it.
She made some good.
I absolutely want
points.
to see it. Anyway,
And
Dallas.
she's like an English
Oh,
major,
we're
so
not-
she
Oh my
was
God, we're
like
not talking about
made to do this, or like it was like
Oh, I
constructing an
absolutely
argument
want to see this.
and like showing you proof
Goodness
and
gracious.
like citing her sources. This was exactly what she learned about in school. So like, she totally like convinced me.
So Dallas.
Yes, Colin.
What you watching? What you reading? What you busting open?
We together.
Yes.
Was it yesterday? 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
2 days ago. We tag team Dragon Prince season 2.
Ooh, what's that?
So Dragon Prince is a show from the creators of Avatar,
Well,
The
no.
Last Airbender, or one
yes
of them.
and no. One
Half
of
of
them. A guy who did some. He's not like one of the two creators.
Got
but
it. He's like
I don't know.
involved.
He was involved heavily, I think.
Okay. Well, they like lured me in with from the people who made Avatar, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right, dope. But then I saw the trailer. I was like, this looks actually amazing. Season 3 is out now,
Ooh.
so we were rewatching season 2, and oh my god, that show
It's
is
great.
so fire, and it's upsetting because no one is talking about it,
Yeah.
and Netflix is quick to cut a show off after 3 seasons. Colin says animated shows don't do that quite as much, so like fingers crossed they don't do it.
Yeah.
But this show's amazing, and just like, oh, whew.
He's got notes.
I got notes.
Ooh,
The characters.
You do.
Reylo.
Oh my.
So Rayla's
God.
not the protagonist, but she definitely should be. She's an elf, and she has a Scottish accent, and she is just like the most delightful. Like she's badass, she's friendly, she doesn't want to just kill people for no reason, and she more than once does an impression of humans, because the show is about humans and then magical people like elves and stuff like that. They live in a separate place.
So
So-
it's like.
The elves look
Racism.
at humans
Actually
like
segregated.
the rest of the world looks at Americans. So like,
Oh.
That's a really good
yeah.
comparison.
So they go into like human dwellings and stuff, and she has to pretend to be a human. So she like puts a hood on to cover her horns. She puts gloves on because they don't have the same amount of fingers. And she starts talking like, let's say a European person would talk to try to pretend to be American. So she's like, hello, fella humans, human fellas. And she's like doing the southern accent. And it's so beautiful. She's like, let's criticize other humans for things that they do and then do those exact same things later. She's amazing. Was Callum the protagonist, I guess you would say? Callum and Ezrin?
Yeah, Callum and
They're
Ezra.
two brothers, and they're both the protagonists, and they're both just the most lovable people. Especially Ezrin, because he's cute, and he's little, and he's like 8, and he can talk to animals, which is adorable.
Aw.
Yeah.
The villains are dope. Viren is the main antagonist, and he's like kind of...
He's a villain. I feel like he doesn't do much that outside of that. Like I don't really know.
Personality-wise, he's kind of a cliche villain. But he has 2 kids who are like on the villain path, and they are completely well-rounded to the point where like when the show starts, you don't even know what side they're on.
Oh,
Like
so it was like
everyone
Zuko.
seems...
Kind of. Not
Well, no,
quite
because when the
Zuko.
show starts, Zuko was like, I'm going to kill him. Like, they're the...
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
But they're dope. The world building is super, super deep. Yes, that's the word I chose.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where it's like very dense. So like if you like world building, you'll love the show because there's like
I love world
all
building.
these different types of elves and there's like elements of magic and da 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 da. But it's super dense. So it's like
It's the
I
kind
don't
of
remember
book.
how to do
It's
it.
kind of show that I was saying to Dallas. It needs like a coffee table book of like the world of the Dragon Prince, so that it would like go into detail on some of these things. Some of the things are like mentioned and they're brushed over just enough to be really interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's how they usually get me, is with world building.
Oh,
for
I think
anything.
you would like this show a lot.
yeah, you
For-
probably would.
For anything. Like, that's how John Wick got me. I was like, wait a minute. There is a world and it's being built.
Yes. The representation, fire. It's
Could be
like-
better, but
I mean,
it has its
there's-
issues.
well, what are the issues?
I don't want to spoil anything,
Okay.
but the story that Viren tells to the Pentarchy,
Uh-huh.
it's like you got representation and
Yeah.
then they took it away.
Oh, I feel you. I feel like we're going to get more of that.
Yeah, probably.
So we'll see. But speaking of that, last thing I want to talk about is just like the writing in this show. It's so good.
Oh, it's incredible.
It is hilarious. There's a character who's a pirate, and his name is Villis with a silent D.
What?
And he has a bird named Berto.
Berto?
Yes, and he speaks, and he says the word squawk when he speaks.
Squawk.
Villis is a blind pirate. He has 2 eye patches. And at one point, they're asking him, what happened to your eyes? And he says, me left eye was taken by a flock of mutinous seagulls. And they just gloss over that. Like, that makes sense. And he says, oh, wow, what happened to your right? And he says, I don't know. Came at me from the left. And I'm like, bro, this is amazing. And there's a scene where, like, Callum is trying to learn how to do something. So they take this ride on the ship through a storm. And he's like, this could be my chance. And Berto comes in, the bird, and he's like, a chance to die? And he's like, I was going to say a chance to learn. And he's like, learn how to drown? And I'm like, it's amazing. And last thing I want to say about the writing, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
No, came at me from the left.
It's so amazing. Like, every scene with that pirate is amazing. And there's a scene that Colin was talking about, like the Pentarchy and all that stuff. The bad guy brings in other kingdom, like, leaders to talk because he needs their, like, agreement to do something. And one of them is a girl. She's, like, 13. The bad guy wants to be king, but he's not. He's like Jafar, kind of. So he's talking to them. He wants them to do something. And this girl shows up, and he's like, hey, you know, where's your adult? Basically, like, you have a regent, da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, it's like in Game
And
of
this
Thrones.
girl has some of the best lines because she says, well, it appears I am a crown without an adult. You are an adult without a crown because Viren's not a king. And I was like,
Oh, she didn't need to burn him like
he was
that.
getting in his world the entire episode.
Yes.
But
You know
yeah.
what? There's a character like that in Game of Thrones, and she's scary. and
Oh yeah, I
amazing.
think you would if you ever got into Game of Thrones. It would take you a while to get to her, but you would love her
Or
because she's
you could
basically
just watch
very
the scene
similar.
with her. There's
I
a
might
really
look that
great
up.
scene with her.
But yeah, so it's amazing. They do this thing with the writing where like something weird will happen. And you know, normally like we're sitting there watching and we say something like, what the hell is going on? Why would you say that? But then the characters address exactly how the audience is feeling. Like Villis with a silent D. It's a pirate and he's talking to Reylo and he's like, oh, you have a strange name, don't you? Meanwhile, his name is Villis with a silent D in it.
Yep.
And she's like, oh yeah, you know, I guess my parents just had a thing for strange names. Villis with a silent D. And there's like this super weird dream sequence and it was just like really strange. And Colin and I were just looking at each other like, what is going on? And then the bird flies across the screen and says, I have questions. But yeah, those are some of the reasons why the show is amazing.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to watch season 3 with you.
Yeah.
But I feel like I said everything. Did you have anything you wanted to say?
I mean, you pretty much hit all the points. I think just in general, I like how complex some of the characters are. Like one of the, I don't even know if she's a villain. Like it's like she'll do whatever she needs to do to get what she wants to get done.
She's a Slytherin, definitely.
But I don't even know what she wants necessarily because it changes based on what's happening. And it's just,
And she's a sweetheart.
yeah, that too. It's just, oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, she's Gaby. But not because of the stuff that she does that Gaby wouldn't do.
Yeah.
It's a dope show. Everybody watch it. Please.
Yeah.
I don't want it to get canceled. So we're going to move on to the news.
News.
First piece of news. Did any of you watch the trailer for Antebellum?
Yes.
No.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
I mean, I sent it to y'all and you asked me if I'd watched it. I felt like I should.
Okay, cool. Because I don't feel like you're going to watch the movie.
Oh, no.
So this movie is starring Janelle Monáe, right?
Yes.
The trailer, it's like slavery, but also you're seeing and hearing things from the modern day. So it's like a weird disconnect to start off the trailer. Like there's a plane flying over this field of slaves.
Uh-huh.
and you're like,
I don't like that.
what's going on? Like the trailer goes through and it's like a thrilling kind of, it looks like a Jordan Peele movie.
Oh.
It does.
It's
Yeah.
Blumhouse, and it says from the producers of Get Out and us, and it's like, is this not a Jordan Peele movie?
So it's probably, maybe it's produced by him, but it's not
What is it, Monkey Paw?
directed.
I don't think
Or is
it's
it just
Monkey Paw.
Blumhouse?
I think it's just Blumhouse.
Okay, cool. So I don't know if he has anything to do with it.
He
Oh,
didn't say
wow.
anything about it, and almost immediately after, he put out a trailer for Hunter. So I think
Yeah, it's probably not
No.
his.
it's not his.
But yeah, I just feel like he's ghostwriting movies, because if this is not a Jordan Peele movie, oh my God,
But maybe now they know how to pick out stuff that,
that people would be into.
yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Especially like in the vein of
Mhm.
Jordan Peele.
And it's like, I want to see it, but I don't, because it looks.
Yeah, you don't like slave movies.
I don't mess with slave movies.
Yeah.
Nah. But it looks like a
And
Jordan
then
Peele
starting
movie.
not to mess with slave movies because you don't. Like, I used to watch them because they'd be like, I need to watch this
Mhm.
for, historical reasons.
Right.
And now I'm like, I think I've seen enough.
Exactly. I was like, yeah, with the school, they talked about slavery. We got it. But yeah, it's scary looking
Yeah.
slaves. Janelle Monáe. Also, I think Kiersey Clemens is in it.
I'm excited for hopefully you to see it so that you can tell me about it, and
We'll
I
see.
don't have to see it.
I'll probably see it just
Or
because.
I'll see it too.
Yeah.
I'll probably see
One
it.
of y'all see it so that I don't have to.
Yeah.
Colin, you got to see it.
Nope.
Fine. You love Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna watch a horror movie, especially horror movie and slaves. You put the two together,
That's fair.
and I am as far away from that as I can get.
Fair.
That's fair. Moving on. They keep casting people for the Batman.
When are they
Yeah, because
filming
this is
that
based on
movie?
the Long
I don't know.
Halloween. and Long Halloween has a lot of villains in it.
Everybody. But dang,
Yeah.
I didn't expect to get the entire cast announced before.
I like it though because it means
Might
that
that
they're
mean this
willing.
movie gets overstuffed though?
No, because Long Halloween wasn't overstuffed.
I mean, Long Halloween is comics. Like, you just sit down, you read them over time. Like, movies is a very,
No, I know,
you
but
have
like,
a really limited time.
I feel like
Because a lot of times you adapt a comic story into a movie and people complain, they took this out, they took that out. Like, Civil War, if they tried to adapt all of that into the movie, it'd still be going
I have a
on. It'd be
question,
like Roots.
but
Yeah.
before we get there, we should mention that the reason we're saying this is because they cast.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
John Tuturro from Do the Right Thing and Transformers
Yeah.
and a bunch of stuff.
and the
Is
night
playing
of
Carmine Falcone. The
Falcone.
Is it Falcone?
Yeah, it's
Falcone crime
Italian.
family. Fair. He's playing the Italian crime boss from Gotham.
Wow.
Colin, what were you gonna say?
So I didn't see the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but I remember didn't the second one kind of do something similar with a
Ye-
bunch of
Bunch of
villains all
villains.
at once? Did that work?
Yes, not for that one because that's not what the story was about. They just kept throwing people in there, and then Paul Giamatti was in it, but like super briefly
was
at the
weird.
end. In my opinion, that one didn't work because it's not really, like, it didn't really serve or like.
Counterpoint. Into the Spider-Verse. Several different villains.
Mhm.
Worked.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. Good point.
Think
good
about Into the
point.
Spider-Verse. I feel like if they do it like that, where you have a bunch of villains, but they're not all trying to take up the main antagonist role.
That's what
Because
I'm
you know,
saying.
Into the Spider-Verse has Prowler and Kingpin and Doc Ock and Scorpion. Like,
But the main villain
Scorpion doesn't even do
was
anything.
Kingpin.
No.
Like, Tombstone shows up, doesn't really do anything. But you know which villains to focus on. So if they do that with this,
That's what I think they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because Long Halloween is like he's Detective Batman and he's going through all these villains to
Exactly.
ultimately reach the one villain that's
the
doing
one
the
he's
problem.
got to get to.
So while it's really cool that these people are being cast, I feel like people are thinking that they're going to have a shining moment. I feel like they're going to have a scene. With the exception of maybe Catwoman. I think that as long as we don't go into this movie going, I'm going to see all these villains. No, like the villain's going to get maybe a
Yeah, like
scene.
you're going to see them. You're not going to spend time
Yeah,
with all
you're
of
not
them.
going to spend time with them. So, and that's the point of the Long Halloween is he goes through all these villains.
I think it's a good casting choice. This guy is a good actor. He's been acting forever.
Yeah.
He's very Italian. Also, have any of you seen Do the Right Thing?
No.
To me, has. Like, the way he plays that character, I feel like could translate very well to an Italian crime boss in Gotham because he has this, like, visceral Italianness to him.
I haven't seen Do the Right Thing in years, like since high school.
Right.
The most recent Spike Lee movie that I've seen with him in it is Jungle Fever. And that's
wow.
a very different character.
Wait, what's that about?
Don't.
Guess.
Please don't.
Take a guess.
No.
Gaby.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Is this what Kaylee...
Moving on.
Let's continue.
News number 3.
Yes.
Michael Jackson is getting a
What?
biopic
What?
from the producer of Bohemian Rhapsody.
What?
Leave Michael alone.
Yep.
I mean, fine. It's fine. I'm probably not going to end up seeing it, but fine.
I feel like... Never mind.
Is it going to be... Does it sound like it's going to be like Bohemian Rhapsody? Or is it like a Rocket Man type of thing? Do we
I
know
feel-
anything?
What do you mean,
all we
Rocket Man
know
type
is
of thing?
that.
Well, I guess Rocket Man would be a
Oh, we don't.
closer example because it's focused on one person as opposed to a band.
Ah.
All I know is that the guy who wrote Gladiator and The Aviator, John Logan, is writing the movie.
Okay, so it'll be well written. But please, just stop. Just stop. Michael has enough. There's so many. There's so many.
Yeah. I think there's another one being made right now.
What?
No, there's a Broadway show being done right now.
What?
There it is.
There's a Broadway show being done right now, and he's had several biographical pieces done about his life before he even died that play every year on television. We don't need more.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be weird, especially with the whole things that's been happening. Because it says the script will not provide a, quote, sanitized look at the life of Jackson. It's going to be weird. I'm probably not going to watch it.
I feel like just let sleeping dogs lie. I just leave that over there.
I mean, let's be honest. They are bringing James Dean back from the dead.
Yeah, I
to
don't
play the
like
movie,
that
so
they're doing this.
They're
like,
not going to
stop
stop making money
it.
off dead people.
Like, it just feels like grave robbing.
Yeah, that was
Especially the James Dean one.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm like, stop it. And then that company was like, immediately after was like, we're going to do it with other people. And I was like, this is exactly what we didn't want.
Like, we can do it with Malcolm X. And it's like, why would you do it with Malcolm X?
We don't want to
an
do
actor.
that. Like, stop it.
We're walking into a big episode of Black Mirror.
Yep, we are.
But I like that show. Moving on. Doctor Who. There's a trailer. You guys talk about it.
Yeah, I don't who.
Me and Colin do.
Yeah.
Woo, as of now, because 13 has been,
Gosh, she's so good.
I love 13.
She's so
Is
good.
she back to like David Tennant level days?
Yes. Jodie Whittaker is just a fantastic actress in general, and her episodes have been really good.
Yeah.
This season looks like it's going to be more serialized than the last season was.
Okay.
Because it seems like the trailer made it seem like the Doctor is going to be chased by something or have awoken something.
There was a hint of that in like one episode of the last season that never really went anywhere.
Yeah, but I feel like it won't be as heavy-handed as the Moffat seasons. It'll probably be more like the Russell
Here's
T Davies
hoping.
seasons where it was serialized, but it was also episodic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's what we get.
Where there's like an overarching
Because typically
thing,
the way those would work is like you'd get hints throughout, and in the last like 2 episodes, everything would kind of come together. Head. So if they do that again, I'm down.
Yeah, I liked those seasons because they were like, you didn't have to watch every episode, but if you had, you were kind of rewarded at the end of the season because
also,
you understood.
like,
Yeah.
I don't
like,
know.
Moffat, I feel like took advantage of every like the height because I felt like that was the super height of Doctor Who. Like David Tennant leaving.
Yeah, as soon as David Tennant left, that's when it got really big.
Yeah, so I feel like Moffat took advantage, knew that because it was so big, he could make it super serialized so that you had to understand everything because everybody was watching
I don't have a problem
everything.
with the show being serialized. I have a problem with the way that Moffat would tell his stories, but that's a whole different topic of conversation.
Yeah, I know. But I feel like right now, it was probably a smart move to make it less serialized last season because they probably didn't know how a women doctor would
Go over.
Oh, no, I'm sure they knew exactly how it would go over. And luckily, they casted a very talented woman to play the Doctor.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is they probably saw that they didn't lose as much of an audience as they thought they would. So this season, they can do something more serialized.
Well, they also got a new showrunner. The showrunner probably wanted to, feel his way through, test out the waters, really play around with that universe. And now he's done that. So now he can do as serial of a show as he wants to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like it's going to be fun. They brought back the Jadoon, which I'm only excited about because I'm hoping for a Martha Jones reference.
Girl, we're going to get a lab coat, and that's going to be it.
No, I don't even need a lab coat. Like, literally, they could just mention the fact that Martha existed, and I would be happy.
Also, like, there was a shot or two of, like, people on a plane, and it was very blue, and I don't know if it was just my hoping, but I was getting a real Midnight vibe.
Ooh, oh, no.
And if they do another Midnight
Not again.
episode,
oh, God.
I love that episode
I do
so
love
much.
that episode, but God, it scared the crap out of me.
That's why it's so good.
Cybermen are apparently coming back.
I never liked
know.
the Cybermen, but fine.
I don't know. The Cybermen, you saw people with gas masks. I clearly need to rewatch the trailer.
Yeah, trust me, I'd focused on that because the
Are you
empty
my
child
mommy?
is terrifying. But yeah,
Is
I
the
mean,
Cybermen like the earpiece episode? And then
yes,
Okay, got it.
yes, they have like Bluetooth devices that turn you into Cybermen. Yeah, that was that one.
I'm intrigued because I liked what they did with the Daleks with 13 because they at least tried to change. They at least tried to give us something new,
Right.
and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I really, really liked the last season. I need to watch it again, but I liked it a lot. There were some episodes of that one that are like some of my favorite episodes.
The Rosa Parks episode is literally one of the best episodes of Doctor Who ever.
What?
It was good.
That's how that they have an American audience because they did something like that.
I mean, we've had episodes in America before, but the Rosa Parks episode was
That one's
Solid.
solid. That was really good. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, same.
I haven't been like once Jodie Whittaker joined. I hadn't been this excited about Doctor Who in a while.
Yeah, I just wish
Tenet.
we had a more firm date than early 2020. Because I don't think there's going to be a Christmas special, so we're just waiting until early 2020. But I'll take what I can get.
Also, I love Stephen Fry, so I love that he's guest starring.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That's the news. It's been newsy. Yeah, Doctor Who. I don't know. I don't watch it. It's so much. How long has it been on? Like 80 years?
None of us have
It's
watched
like
all of those.
But they are available. I think they're
But
on
if you
Hulu.
ever want to watch it starting from the reboot, because I would not make you start from the original,
Yeah.
hit me
Yeah,
up. I
those
will
are, like,
gladly do it with you.
super
Like
campy.
I've only ever seen New Who, and I tried watching.
Well, also
old
because
Who.
old Who, one story will take like 3 hours,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like I don't want.
I
to
don't
do
have
that.
time.
All right, good to know. Thanks for listening, guys. Tell us what you thought about Frozen, Knives Out, 50 Shades of Rey, all the other
I
things we talked
regret
about.
telling you guys about that. I hope
I
my
regret you
housemate-
telling us about that.
I hope my housemate doesn't come after me. Like, why'd you tell people in your
On the
public
PowerPoint.
podcast about
Anyway.
my PowerPoint?
As always, thank you to me for editing, dealing with Gabby spending so long talking about that thing you hate.
I'm sorry.
Shout out to Crown Digital, Brandon and Io for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, where you can find us if you don't want to do YouTube. Understandable. It's up to you. Whatever. You can find us on Twitter at y'all_different. You can find us on Facebook. Just search for Creative Differences. Look for the logo that you're looking at now. You can find us on Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast. That's everywhere you can find us as a team. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at a king named Simba.
You can find me on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
You can find me, Gabby, on Instagram at Stegosaurus.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled DREEMI. Thank you guys again for listening.
Yes, and don't forget to like and share and subscribe and do all that stuff that you do on the things. All right, it's been different.
Bye.
Bye.
Into the unknown.
Into the unknown.
Oh my God, was your mic on?
I hope so.
Please keep that.
Scuttle showed up all of a sudden.